This is a quick public service announcement. What you have for breakfast matters. Now today, I did something I don't always do. I had 2 eggs and a piece of toast for breakfast. Okay, and pop some vitamins too. But the point is, I had eggs and toast and jam. And it wasn't super extravagant. It wasn't super sophisticated, but it was still pretty awesome. The reason it was really awesome wasn't the fact that it tastes amazing. Well, it tastes pretty good. Strawberry jam with eggs is, I think, a good combination when it comes. Anyways, the best part about breakfast should always be the energy it gives you. If you eat breakfast and you feel like a freaking Oompa Loompa, then you probably had the wrong thing for breakfast. You want to eat breakfast and feel like you were good to go. You want to feel like Jason Bourne. Okay, well, he probably gets some adrenaline rush. So maybe just a tad. Anyways, you want to feel energized. So when you eat breakfast, if you can get the most energy as you can out of breakfast, that's awesome. The whole point of eating breakfast is to get your body going in the morning, give it the stuff it needs, and give it the energy it needs to get you as far into the day as you possibly can. Because let's be real, in the world we live in today, who knows when you're going to get lunch, right? And dinner usually doesn't come soon enough, and who knows how big it's going to be or when you're going to get to it, right? So breakfast is a really big deal, and it's also the first meal of the day. It's also the first meal of the day. First meal of the day. Breakfast is the first meal of the day. And I don't know if you recognize this before in life, but the first of anything is usually a pretty big deal. Usually a pretty big deal. Your first birthday, that was a pretty big deal. People took pictures. You shoved cake in your face, probably put it in your hair and have a bath afterwards. It was a big deal. The first time you drove for yourself, after you got your license, you're driving by yourself. You were driving yourself somewhere. That was amazing. You might have been a little scared you're going to get into an accident because you're still new to the whole driving thing by yourself. But it was a first and it was a big deal, okay? The first meal of the day is a very big deal because it's the first one. What if you woke up super duper hungry? If you woke up super hungry, then you got to do something about it. And you got to put something in there that's going to give you energy. You can't just be like, well, you know what, dude, I'm just going to have some Pop-Tarts or I'm just going to have some Oreos and milk. No, dude, Oreos and milk or pop or any of that crap is not good for you for breakfast. Albeit, if you sneak some of that and you still have a healthy breakfast, I ain't going to tell anyone, but don't let Oreos and milk or Pop-Tarts or just cereal be your staple. Cereal is usually the traditional go-to in North America for what you have for breakfast, but it's definitely not the ideal of what your body wants you to have for breakfast, okay? So what I'm trying to say here is the first meal of the day is a big deal. What you eat for breakfast matters because it should give you as much energy as you can possibly get out of it so you get to lunch without dying. If Santa was leading the sleigh to deliver presents and Rudolph passed out, there would be a problem, right? The sleigh would start to drag and probably hit the ground. And nobody will get their presents. The same thing goes for you if you haven't had a good enough breakfast and you get super duper hungry or you crash after a sugar rush around 10:30 in the morning and all of a sudden you're just like, I can't do anything, my brain hurts. If you're like that after breakfast, then there's a problem because your breakfast is not helping you, it's making you worse. It's getting in your way from being productive. If your breakfast doesn't help you be productive in the future, and by the future I mean more than the next 20 minutes of your life, then it's not helping you. So make sure that whatever you eat for breakfast gets you energy and helps you get to lunch, and if it's even a really awesome breakfast, it's going to get you past lunch. So a really good breakfast can allow you to skip lunch without feeling like you're about to die or like fall off a cliff. So that's really important. So I just want to make sure I let everyone know that breakfast is a big deal, and I've really come to notice that today because today I had an egg, not one egg, I had 2 eggs. I had 2 eggs today on toast with strawberry and apple jam, and it was just like an amazing experience. Okay, it wasn't like super sensational, but it was getting there, borderline. And the best part of it was I went to work, and the way my work day was set up today, I was working part-time at the menswear store I work for, and around like noon, 1 o'clock, admittedly I wasn't like, oh, I'm so stuffed. Obviously I was hungry, right? But I wasn't like so hungry where it's like, I can't think straight. Oh, I wasn't like that, I was like hungry like, I could definitely eat something right now. But I wasn't hungry like, holy cow, I can't think. And so there's a difference. I can get so hungry that I'm going to go insane and can't concentrate on anything. And if you ever have those experiences, that's not something you want to have before mealtime. You want to have that like right before mealtime. That's ideal, right? That's how, in a perfect world, right? We plan when we get hungry. Okay. So basically, what I'm saying though, is you want what you eat in the morning to get you to your next meal, preferably lunch. And if it's really awesome, it's going to allow you to skip lunch, although not recommended. Who doesn't? Who doesn't want lunch, right? Don't skip it if you don't have to. But if you have to, make sure your breakfast was big enough to account for the skipping of lunch. And that can be a challenge. That can take more time in the morning and can seem like a sacrifice in the morning, but really it's not a super big deal because it's going to get you further in life. You're going to probably have a better morning and be more productive in the morning. And technically that's when it's best to be productive because people technically start crashing around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when things get least productive. If you ever are dealing with anything on the professional side of businesses with people after 3 p.m., it's like, oh crap, because they're already going to be exhausted. They're already going to be tanking in energy, unless they're some sort of yoga doing, jiu-jitsu, smoothie drinking ninja, and they could be fine. Otherwise, people are generally nuked out of energy by the time 3 o'clock in the afternoon rolls around. So in order to get the most out of life, get the most out of your breakfast. Let your breakfast fuel you for your future, okay? If you get the most out of your breakfast, you're going to be having a more productive day. And when you do that consistently, you're going to have a more productive life. Who would have guessed, right? Days add up and they make a life, okay? So thanks so much for watching today. If you think the breakfast is important, you thought this was entertaining and informative video, please feel free to hit the like button. And if you want to see more crazy videos like this with advice, tips, suggestions, opinions, and otherwise a detailed description of my journey and what I'm up to, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It's kind of dangerous though because you're going to get updates of what I'm doing, and I kind of hope you're prepared for it because it's going to be awesome. All right, well, thanks for watching. Have a great day. And remember, eat breakfast and make sure it counts.